that we are able to share on this platform. Thank you very much for your assistance. Thank you, George, Brian, and other team members who have been grateful in giving us the assistance. Now, without delay, the river of life. This is just I just choose it because then I thought there is something related with our journey of life. We all have to be like a river. So then I thought, let me talk something related to the reality of life, and then along bringing down the terahertz water, which plays a very, very important role in our journey of life. So once again, okay, when you're talking about the journey of life, the river of life, in a human being, these three plays a very, very important role. That's our body. The physical body plays a very important role. The mind plays a very, very important another role. And of course, the soul, which is the main driver of our vehicle, which is our soul. But when it comes to our body, this is where we as human beings, we need to understand that unless you take care of your body, you will face situations, especially after 50 years, definitely we all start facing little issues. And then once the issue starts in, that is when we start looking at solutions for it. Now, it'll be too late. If youngsters are down there in the group, I would request every one of you, you need to take care of your body every moment of life, every second of your life, in whatever best possible ways you better take care. And when you do this, when you're young, between 20 to 30 years, definitely I can assure you that your health in the next 20 years, just imagine in the next 20 years, what kind of problems we all will be facing. Definitely the challenges is not just on one side, the health alone. Just now, in fact, I just returned back from going to Giant for buying groceries for my home. Now, can you believe the pricing? I go there and see is exponentially they have increased. It's not just 10% or 20%. I would say in many products, it's almost 70 to 80% of the pricing has been increased. And then our pockets are not that very full for us to, just spend it just like that. So in that way, it's a very big challenge. Just imagine 2022, we are facing the situation. And now on the other side, with the Ukraine there on war, now there are every chance that the petrol prices can go up. The moment petrol prices go up, definitely we all have to shell out a little more money than what we are. So definitely our spending capacity will be slightly less. So now this is where we need to do something other than what we are doing. That's where the parallel businesses, like what we are doing in terahertz, it can assist you in your journey along with whatever you are doing. Now, along with the financial challenge, then we have another big challenge is the bodily challenge. Now, if you're looking at the bodily challenge, it is not as easy as we think. The reason is definitely in spite of taking care, what I am going through, I need to share this with you is I did finish my vaccination almost 6 months ago. Now, for the past 1 month, there is something I am facing wherein it's like, the body is paining. I don't know why. Especially my back is definitely painful. I don't know why. I'm not doing any odd jobs and I'm not doing anything it's all a routine. Now, why is this happening? There is something going on. Now, just imagine it's not just me alone. Most of the people who have taken the vaccination are going through some challenges. Now, what I say is it's a challenge. Now, what do we need to do? So we need to just support your body with the right nutrients, with the right supplements, and with the right conditioning. We need to support. That is how your body will be able to move forward. Now, what I noticed was when I started, I don't take any vitamins because I normally go in for an IV line with all the vitamins inside. It's almost 2 to 3 months I didn't take. Now, what happened is I just started taking a few supportive antioxidants like the good vitamin C, then vitamin E, then omega-3. And after taking exactly for 1 week, I feel a little better. The pain is much, much better right now. Now, why I'm sharing this is definitely such of those you're down there, you also might be going through some challenges and you wouldn't know what to do. Now, this is where we have to do a little bit of cellular analysis for you to know what exactly is the problem, and then from there we will be able to move forward. Now, when we are talking about the body, once again, let me go back to the topic which we are talking about, the river of life. Now, as we all know, the river starts somewhere in the mountains, and then it flows down, and then it just goes back to the sea, and then once again from the sea, it just vaporizes, goes back to the clouds, and from the clouds, once again, it rains, and then it falls down. And as this is a process which is a cycle of water which happens naturally, we also as human beings, we also are born, and there are many times we are born, we are actually supposed to be the sixth sensed animal being on this planet earth, and of course we are born, we die. But there is some information which is available out there, is that we all go through a birth and death cycle again and again, again and again, until we consciously get into a much higher dimension which we learn through as a human being. And then once we elevate, then probably it is told that we join the creator, or the this beautiful universe which is much bigger. Now, with all this situation, the moment we are born, and of course, as we are a child, when we go through the childhood, it's a very beautiful journey we all go through. And then most of the time, we don't have any conditioning initially in the first 2 to 3 years to 4 years, or maximum 5 years, not much of conditioning with our parents, from our parents and from the society. But the moment we start going to school, and then we start meeting other people other than the family members, we see there is a lot of conditioning which starts happening to us. And this conditioning is something, what happens is it gets ingrained in our subconscious, and then we all start following those conditioned lifestyle. Now, especially if you're looking at people who are somewhere around 30s, 40s, or 50s, it is most of the people, I would say 80 to 90% of the people, they all live a conditioned lifestyle. Now, condition is the materialistic requirement. You need to go to the office, you need to earn money, you need to work, you need to take care of your family, you need to get married, you need to produce children. This has become a routine. Now, when you look at, we human beings are not just born to do this job alone. There are other things we all need to look into from a 360-degree angle all round, so that we can handle our life beautifully. And of course, we can fulfill all our desires, especially when you're talking about the materialistic requirement can be fulfilled. And then we should be able to finish our journey beautifully, and then leave the planet Earth, and then move on to the next journey, which most of us don't know how it will be, and where we are going, nobody knows. But let's live to the fullest of possible on this planet Earth, and then move forward. Now, when we are looking at this, definitely to optimize, I would request every one of you, you need to optimize the existing, your physical body to the best of your abilities. Now, optimizing means making the body to work better, and making your body to the best of its ability, so that it can do all the work. Like, for example, you need to go to work and come back. Now, 8 hours of job, you're going to sit on a chair, your spine is under stress. Now, how are you going to compensate this stress on your spine? It's not easy, but definitely we all need to look into the stretching, especially the exercise. If you're looking at the exercise, stretching of your back plays a very, very important role. Now, most of us don't even look into this. And I would request that every one of you, especially when you get up in the morning, there are two things which you can do in the morning. Is number one is, once you brush your teeth, what you need to do is you need to do a little bit of breathing exercise. Now, this breathing exercise, please buy this particular breathe assist, which is available in the pharmacy. Normally, this is given to people who go for a bypass. Now, there are 3 balls in it, and then when you either suck or when you blow, the balls will go up and down. Now, this is basically to enhance your lung capacity. If you are looking at enhancing the lung capacity, are you practicing breathing technique every day or not? If you are not doing, don't expect your body to also work for you, especially in times of infection. Now, that too, if you are talking about a COVID infection, we all know that it definitely affects your lungs. And then, of course, we know the lungs, the moment the lung capacity goes down, and if because of the disease, it has been totally fibrosed, or it cannot carry the exchange of oxygen, definitely you will not be able to breathe. Now, how long can a doctor also put you on a, I would say, the artificial ventilation, artificial ventilators, supportive ventilators? How long a doctor can put? For some time, of course, he can put, but we cannot be going on a machine for a very lifelong. So automatically, you need to breathe back and then get back to your original status. Now, for this, if you can do this practice of breathing in 5 seconds, hold the breath for 5 seconds, and leave the breath for 10 seconds. So 5, 5, and 10. That means for 20 seconds, you will be having 1 breath. So just imagine in 1 minute, it will be 3 breaths. So if it is for 5 minutes, it will be 15 breath. And if it is for 15 minutes, it will be approximately around 75 breath. Now, this is ideally, if you can do this for 15 minutes in the morning, you can go a long way. You can definitely earn a lot of money. You can definitely have luxuries on this planet Earth. All this will be, you can enjoy it, but you need to practice this right from your younger age group. 15 minutes, you need to breathe. Now, after 15 minutes of breathing, the next very important is stretching. Now, if at all, if you're talking about stretching, choose a beautiful wall, and then you just need to lie down and then put your legs up. It's like an L shape. You just lie down like this for 15 minutes. Let me, if you can do this as early as possible, as you're growing older, definitely you will be able to handle your back. You will not be able to get back pain when you do the stretching every day, 15 minutes without fail. Now, 15 minutes of breathing and 15 minutes of stretching, good enough. Then add another 30 minutes. What you can do is you can choose what you want to do. You want to go on a treadmill, or you want to go on outside a brisk walking, or you want to do some weights, a little bit of weights. And of course, 50 plus of years, I would request people not to go in for a heavy weightlifting. You should choose something between 3 to 5 kgs to 10 kgs is good enough. If at all you want to make your muscle a little stronger, and the toning of the muscle will take place if you're going to use little bit of weights. You have to use, and especially such of those who are all with diabetes, you should do some weights exercise, for it will help your muscle to do the work and thereby utilize your glucose. Now, this is where glucose utilization also plays a very important role in your journey of life. If you do not, if you're going to take 100 grams of glucose or whatever food you're taking, and that is converted into sugar, and it is 100 grams. Now, if you're not going to use the 100 grams fully by the body, definitely, for example, if you're going to use 50%, the remaining 50% of the sugar, what happens? Your liver has to work to convert it into fat, because fat is actually another storage wherein you can use the energy when required. So what happens is the body will think, this person is not anyway utilizing the total 100 grams of the sugar, so let me convert it into fat. Now, on one side, if it is going to prepare the fat and then send it across, where will it send? On one side, maybe to your stomach, so your stomach becomes bigger. That is one possibility. The other possibility is it can release the fat into your stream, your bloodstream. So there also the fat can go and get blocked in your vessels. Now, this is something which we need to understand, that exercise plays a very important role. Now, when you can do the breathing, when you can do the exercise, now the third thing comes very important is what kind of diet are you on? What kind of food are you eating? And how much of water are you drinking? Because On this platform, definitely we need to speak about the terahertz water, which is one of the most beautiful blessing for all of us, that we are able to get this water down here, and then we should be able to drink this water because it is available here. Now, there are a lot of countries where people are still don't know about this terahertz water. Why? Even in Malaysia, a lot of people, when we say terahertz water, they say they don't know. Like yesterday also, I had one patient who attended me, and I asked them, do you know anything about terahertz water? They said they don't know. Now, like this, if you look at in Malaysia, there are a lot of possibilities that you all can definitely share the information of terahertz water, and then give the benefit that they also can pick up the either the machine, or at least they can buy the water and drink it up. So here, what you need to do is, please remember that you need to optimize your health. Optimizing means you need to do everything little so that the health becomes so beautiful that overall you will be able to execute your job in the perfect manner and live at the same time in a much more peaceful manner, other than when there are challenges which every other human being on earth is going through, is a stressful lifestyle. Now you need to come out of the stressful journey of life and plan things in such a way that you all need to get into a little balanced lifestyle, wherein you should have at least a minimum of 3 to 4 different incomes for you, so that it can supplement your day-to-day activities, you can supplement your family, everything can be planned properly when you have sufficient funds with you. But one thing you all need to understand is, in the present situation and in the present in scenario in the whole universe or the world, it is a big challenge people are going through. Just imagine, in Malaysia, we don't have a war, so at least we are able to go down, pick up something and then, come back and eat. Just for a second, if you can think of the people in Ukraine, which is torn into pieces by the war. Now just imagine how many people have fled the country and gone to the neighboring countries wherein as a refugee. Now, is it easy for you to just leave your home? You have built your home and then finally just leave everything, and then you have to go to another country, start a totally a new life, wherein as a refugee, of course, they will provide you shelter, they will provide you some little bit of food. But imagine, all the while you are sitting in a cozy home, you have your internet facility, you have your aircon, you have your car, you have your family all together. All this is such a blessing. So at least for today, in Malaysia or in the Asian countries, we are all still blessed that we still can enjoy having a minimum 3 meals a day, and we are able to earn a little bit of whatever money we are earning. We still are able to do that, and then we are able to move forward in our journey of life. So optimization of your health plays a very, very important role. So look into it in whatever little ways. Please do it along with whatever you're doing as of today. Now, if you're just looking at this, health is in the center of your life. Now, can you see there are so many situations which we need to face, right from the environment wherein we are talking about fresh air. Are we getting a fresh air? No, definitely when you're living in a city like KL or Klang, definitely we can't expect a very highly fresh air. So what do? We have no choice. We still have to breathe in that air, and then all the poisons which is coming inside your body also plays a very, very important role in handling your body. Now, you might be taking the best of food, you might be drinking water, all this is there. But the challenge we all face is when a polluted air has been inhaled inside, definitely the lungs go through such a stressful situation that it has to cleanse those whatever soutes we have inhaled, and then make your body to take the oxygen, and then the oxygen has to be supplied to the other parts of our body. Now, on one side, we are looking at the fresh air, which is polluted. But on the other side, just imagine, smoking also plays a very, very important role. Now, this has become a fashion for everybody. Smoking is definitely out there. A lot of people, for them, it's like a time pass, and then it's still okay for them what they do. The reason is it's become a habit for them. Now, coming out of this habit is not an easy job, but I would request you, look into it. Because whether you are going to stop smoking or not, definitely through the automobile to the industrialization, we are going to face another challenge. But if you want a bonus given to your body by punishing the bodies, you do can smoke. But there is something which you need to understand is there are almost 2000 poisonous material inside a cigarette. But out of all that, there is one particular very important ingredient of the smoking is your cadmium. There is something called cadmium. So in my epigenetic practice, I see cadmium also plays a very, very important role in one of the poisoning for the physical body. Even though I don't smoke, but still as a passive smoker, I do inhale those cadmium. So definitely we all have to face a situation where cadmium poisoning and cadmium toxicity. Now, where does this cadmium can go? Cadmium can go and sit in anywhere, any part of your body. But there is one place a cadmium would love to go and sit would be is your kidneys. You know, there is something called the glomerulus in your system, wherein that's the single filter. One glomeruli is one filter. So we do have 2 million filters, 1 million on the left and 1 million on the right side. So with 2 million filters, just imagine little bit of cadmium going and blocking. Now, just cadmium alone is not the problem. We have lead also, another big problem we will face. Mercury is another poisoning which we'll face. Aluminum is another poisoning. Arsenic is another. Now, these are the 5 major heavy metals which I have been seeing in my practice. And then I see a lot of people, most of them will be the lead and the mercury. Then comes the third comes your cadmium. Now, with this, definitely your physical state also is affected, because this poisoning is slowly going in and in day on a day-to-day basis. And just imagine when you're 70 years, if imagine just the mercury goes and just clogs in. One of the main area where the mercury goes and settles is your brain. Now imagine if it goes and settles in your brain, what problem you'll have? You will forget. uh, and you know pretty well the diseases like Alzheimer's, the Parkinson's, all these are all coming in. Now you would have heard a lot of people, they're all quite healthy, doing a good job, earning a good salary, and suddenly you see these people are getting into a Parkinson's and Alzheimer's all coming in. Now this is the penalty we all pay as a human being in our journey as a human being, because we are evolutionized ourselves into a much more higher being, we call ourselves, with all the high-tech cars and the high-tech industrialization. And even the mobile phones today, if you see with the artificial intelligence, of course there's a lot of fantastic with. Now there is a, the phones already we see is a 5G, but our terahertz we are will be the 6G products which will be released later on. But in Malaysia we are still holding on to the 5G phones, which is just been released, and people are still using the 5G. But definitely there is a lot of untoward effects because of the 5G phones. Now, how are you going to prevent that? Definitely you and I cannot prevent it, because it is a part and parcel of our life we still have to go through. But I think in the near future, the governments or the companies will come out with the 6G with our terahertz technology, and definitely that will be a much better option for all of us. For the reason is much more safer, much more beneficial in terms of good health. Now, in the physical state, if you look at what time do you sleep, also plays a very, very important role, and what kind of sports you all play. And so it's a collective phenomena what we all have to look into when you're talking about the physical state. Now, when you look at the genes, the genetics you and I cannot change anything, because we just carry it from our parents and it's there inside. But there is some good news for you is all the genetics will probably have a toll on our physical health. Like for example, there can be some diseases which you will be carrying it from your parents, and then you will exhibit the disease, which in this human life probably sometime it will be very debilitating. Sometime it even death can happen because of the genetic disease. But there is something called the epigenetic, which is also plays a very, very important role in our manifesting of the diseases. If you look at, there are 65 genes which we need to switch off, and there are 75 genes which we need to switch on. Now, if you can switch on the 75 genes, good genes, huh, that means you will be very healthy. But at the same time, just imagine you need to switch off the 65 genes, which are the bad genes, which is already doing their job in terms of producing the diseases. Now, how are you going to do that? These guys, whether our genetics, whether you like it or not, it will start manifesting with the diseases. Now, you would have heard of something called autoimmune diseases. Today, there are a lot of patients on this earth having this autoimmune diseases, which starts from the gut, your intestines, and then, of course, if you're looking at thyroid, just a simple disease, let me talk, it's thyroid. That also we call it as an autoimmune disease because most of the time we won't be able to pinpoint and tell you, okay, this is the reason, that's why you're having a thyroid problem. But the moment you have a thyroid issue, doctors, of course, will put you on a thyroid tablet because your thyroid hormone production is much less. But here I want to tell you, your epigenetic factors plays a very important role in your thyroid function. So if the epigenetic factors are not controlled, especially your, so here what happens is it is a definitely a big challenge for all of us. Health, we have to definitely look into our health in a much more serious manner than what we used to do before. Next comes your food. What kind of food? We think that we are all eating a very healthy food, but most of the time it is not, especially with a lot of poisoning pesticides. This is what we are eating. How are you going to clean the pesticide? Every time I ask, people will tell, doctor, we use salt. They're using some little bit of what is that, vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and then of course you can use baking soda. The good news is we have terrace water, which you can be used to clean your vegetables. This is another wonderful tool which and it's a blessing that of course when you for your teeth. What you want to clean your table, sanitize your table, you can use the terrace water. The terrace water definitely to an extent. Of course, when you soak your vegetables in our terrace water, definitely when you cook, the taste is much better. So coming back to the food, definitely it is a big challenge we are all facing, but let's see how we can handle it. So you all have to choose what are the best options we have and then move forward with that. Then finally, can you see something called the medicines? Now here, very beautifully, people very proudly will tell, I have diabetes, I have blood pressure, I went for a bypass, and I'm taking this medicine. When you look at the medicines, invariably it will be nothing less than 3 to 4 medications, and along with that, if you look at the extended medication, it will be around 8 to 9, totally around 10 tablets. Now, all our chemicals, what is a basic plan? We give this all this chemical medication for you to control the disease. But in reality, how much are we controlling the disease? Not much, right? Most of the time you see a diabetic. Let's assume that a person is a diabetic. Now he's on diabetic medication for maybe 5 years to 10 years. All fine. Now when he's around 50 years, he's still okay. When he's 60 years, still okay. And when you ask him, all very good, his blood test is okay, his 3 months sugar levels is okay, and his food habits, exercise, all fantastic. But when you are looking at a person around 70 to 75 years, and then continuously this particular person is taking what is that, the medication, what happens is the chemicals what they consume definitely will have some kind of effect on the body. Some definitely it will have an effect on the body, and in that way what will happen is this kind of chemicals, when it goes on entering into your body, it has a detrimental effect in the long term, especially in terms of your kidney functioning, your liver functioning. These are the two major things which we would look into, because these two organs will never tell you that they have a problem until they are 90% totally gone. Until then, you won't even know. You would have seen many of your friends also who would be telling that they have been quite healthy all the while, and suddenly the doctor is telling that the kidney function is not okay, and they are supposed to go for dialysis. But on the other side, you see, when there is something called fatty liver, what are we doing? The doctors will definitely tell you that you have a fatty liver. But what is the advice? What kind of guidelines are you getting? The only thing they might probably tell you is, okay, you probably eat less of fatty food, oily food, just avoid it. And the junk food you avoid. This is what they might advise. But there is one thing here I wish to share is, it is not just avoiding all this oily food or the junk food or the fatty food, your liver is going to improve. You definitely need to consume vitamins and liver tonics, liver supportive tools, which is natural in nature, so that it gives an additional benefit for your liver to recoup back and then probably rejuvenate back. We have to give this benefit to the liver so that it can rejuvenate back. Definitely, if you're talking about fatty liver, it can be reversed. If it is in the early stages, I want to repeat it, if it is in the early stages, it definitely can repeat. Taking the right supportive nutrients for the liver, you should be able to reverse the fatty liver. And please don't think that just because you're going to avoid all the fatty food, your fatty liver is going to reverse. No. You need to understand that not only the vitamins what you're going to take also will help your liver, but there is another very big challenge you and I are facing is the carbo diet, especially the carbohydrates what you're consuming, and especially the glucose goes in, the glucose part, the carbohydrates getting converted to glucose. And then there's another big challenge that everybody are facing is the fructose, and especially the artificial fructose. If you're talking about natural fructose, which are basically from the fruits, it is still acceptable. But even there, what you and I are facing is, even the fructose of the whatever fruits and vegetables we are talking, it definitely has a lot of chemicals inside, because the way they grow the plants is they have to use some chemicals for it to grow faster, and they add sweeteners, especially to the fruits for it to taste sweet. Now, if you had eaten mango probably around 20-30 years ago, very tasty and very sweet. But today, the same mango, you're paying almost 3 to 4 ringgits for one mango, but at the end of the day, when you see, it is absolutely tasteless, but it is a mango. You take grapes, also we face the same situation. So coming back to the medicines, most of you who are all consuming medicines, definitely it is a big challenge for you, because if I'm going to say, come on, reduce the medicines, how are you going to reduce the medicine? We need to work on different areas, wherein right from the food to your diet, to your exercise, to your breathing, to your day-to-day activities, how are you optimizing? All this plays a very important role. So please do look into it. And if there is a possibility, you can reduce the medicine by following the right kind of diet, the right kind of food when you start eating. I think when you're talking about eating your food, this is another suggestion I would give is, eat a lot of sprouts. That means it's not cooked, but it is raw but sprouting. Please do sprout. All the grams are available wherein you can do the sprout and then eat. And especially if you're a diabetic, fenugreek seeds is one of the best, wherein people definitely soak it in water, and the next day morning they drink the water. Is supposed to help for the diabetes. But what I would wish to let you know is, the fenugreek seeds, when you sprout it and then it is around 1 inch length, then when you take 1 teaspoon before your food, you need to consume this before your food. So when you take this, chew it nicely, and then when you swallow it, your body also starts producing natural insulin, and that in turn will help you, especially for people who are having less insulin, it will help them. But many of the times you would notice that people are having a little bit of high insulin in their blood levels. If high insulin is there, definitely there are a lot of detrimental, there are a lot of problems because of the high insulin in your body, and your diabetes will not be under control at all. And doctors, of course, definitely without any choice, they will be probably giving you more insulin injections and increase the tablets to maybe probably 2 or 3 or 4. But for the insulin to come down, you need to understand that if you're eating all the processed food, especially the fructose, especially the glucose, which you're not using, definitely you will face problem with the hyperinsulinemia. That means more insulin is circulating in your body, and more insulin, more problem for you. Less insulin, also problem for you. So this is a little challenge for you. So you need to understand. So if there is a possibility, you should get your fasting insulin checked so that you know how much is your insulin production. Is it more or less? Then only you will be able to know whether you want to reduce and whether you want to practice proper exercise methods, proper food habits, and then probably reduce your insulin levels. And finally, of course, the spiritual conditioning, always in good mood, your hobbies, your love towards yourself and the love towards the fellow human beings, to the fellow the animals around you, the plants around you, the love, how much you exchange, how much you do a charity. I think in our group down here, a lot of people are doing water charity with terrace water. So I'm very happy that you're all doing a good job. Please continue this. Our humanity needs a lot of beautiful souls like you to donate water. So such of those who have the instrument, do a lot of charity in terms of donating the water. Now with this, so health is a biggest challenge for every one of us. And in the river of life, this one big challenge is something every human being are going through a difficult time to handle, to manage their body. But I think every one of you are so intelligent that you should be able to handle your journey in a much more beautiful manner than what you are. And of course, healthy lifestyle, you should start practicing. And once again, coming back to our health, definitely we need to go to the cellular level. Now, just behind the cellular level in this, can you see there is something called organelles, and below that is called macromolecule, and below that is called molecule, and below that is called the atom. So atom plays the that is the first stepping stone for our good health. So if you can keep the atoms more healthy, I think your physical body also definitely will be healthy. Now, if you look at the number 9 there are 9 different stages of your health, right from the atom to your physical body, which is your whole human body, which are 9 different steps. So in that way, if you look at every human being, we all have this beautiful journey. And we as a human being, if you're talking about a man has 9 different openings in his body, right from his eyes to his nostrils, to the mouth, to the ears, to the urinary passage, then to the bowel passage. When you count everything, it is 9. And then we have the 9 planets as well. So when you look at the cellular level also, we do have the 9 stages of from the atom to the physical full body. So you need to work on every level that everything becomes more healthier. Now for this simple things, what you need to follow is live a very beautiful, simple life. Let your thoughts be simple. Don't look at too much into the future, too much into the back of your journey as well. That means your past. Just like a river, once it starts flowing, it just starts flowing and flowing and flowing until it goes to the destiny. Now, can you imagine when does the river stops flowing? In reality, it doesn't stop flowing, right? But there is one situation for the river. There is a biggest challenge which it faces for its flow is we human beings build a dam in between the river. For what? For our own consumption. We want the water. That's why we forcefully block the water, river, and then we start using the water. But the river by itself, if we human beings don't do anything, it will be flowing through all the while and continue until its destination, which is the sea. Now, in the same way, you and I as a human being also, once we are born, we walk through all this beautiful. Now, where are the challenges? The blocks, like what I'm talking about, the dam. We also face, and the dams are built, whether you like it or not, the dams are built. Now, this 2 years with the COVID situation, it is like a dam for our journey of life, right? We all have been put some handbrakes, and we totally couldn't do anything. Just imagine the first wave when it got into 2020, sometime in April and May, we couldn't even go out. No vehicle moving around. None of the human beings we can see out. And that too, it was such a situation, pathetic, that everything was totally shut down. We can't buy anything. Now, this is a hurdle, like the dam which we built for the river, for it to flow, we are putting a block, isn't it? In the same way, our life also, there are blocks which come in your way, whether you like it or not. It is there, and we have to overcome it. The only way is we have to overcome is we are intelligent enough, we should be able to overcome that. Now, once again, in the river of life, for every human being, we need water to drink, we need water to bathe, we need water to wash our vessels. There are so many things we need water to be used for in our day-to-day life. Now, let's forget the external part, it's still okay, but the internal part, every cell of your body needs water. Now, every cell of it body needs water. When I say that, does the water go inside your cell so easily? With the totally polluted water, what we get inside our system, especially our kitchen, a lot of people in my practice, when I ask them, do you use a filtration system? They say no. Now, this is something I would definitely recommend and definitely request you that please consider. You have to install one good filtration system outside your house and one good filtration system inside near your kitchen for us, for you to at least get a potable, drinkable water. And today, of course, there are a lot of companies like the Covey or Cuckoo. All these companies have come out and they are giving a very good filtration system for you to get a very clean drinking water. Now, there is a clean drinking water for you to drink. It's good enough. But when you drink that water, is it sufficiently? Are you getting hydration? Now, this is where you can get your hydration test done by giving 1 drop of blood, and then you can see your circulation there, especially your cells down there. If all the cells are clumped, that means there is no hydration. So what you need to do when you drink Terra's water, you can see automatically it gets hydrated. So when you look at the functions of the water, definitely it carries the nutrient, it carries our oxygen, it helps to maintain your lubrication function. And then, of course, one of the major benefits of the water is it flushes out the toxins. Imagine if flushing of toxin can be done through water. Isn't that a good news for us? And in that way, terahertz also is another wonderful tool for you. It can do the detox for you. And especially when you're talking about your uric acid levels can come down, your acidity. But here also, I do see a few people, I have seen that they are drinking terrace water, but in spite of that, their body is still acidic. For the reason I'm looking at is they need probably right vitamins, supplements, and probably I think even if you have a omega-3 deficiency, which is very, very important in most of the human being, because the cell wall has a fatty layer. Now for that, when you're looking at omega-3, that can help you to make your wall of the cell more beautiful and flaccid. Now, most of the walls of the cells would have been rigid. If there is rigidity, the water still cannot go inside. That means hydration cannot take place. Now, can you believe this? This is something more internal, something more detailed we are talking. But what I would say is definitely, at least please drink Tara's water. Definitely that is going to help you to, take care of your health in terms of hydrating. So you need to have a very balanced, holistic approach, and water plays an important role. But just drinking water may not be a solution to be healthy, because today's polluted, poison world, right from the air pollution to the your vegetables to the food, It is a challenge. Now, we are talking about hydration. Your cellular hydration plays a very, very important role. Now, for that, this beautiful system of our terahertz water definitely can go inside, which is what we can show you practically, and you see it. Now, you cannot have less water is also a problem, but at the same time, when you're drinking more water also is a problem. Overhydration also is a problem. So you need to understand that if you're a average 50 kgs person, you need to just multiply with 42 and then see how much is it. It is approximately 42 means into 50 is almost 2000 change. So you're supposed to drink 2.5 liters approximately for a 50 kg weight. But if you're 100 kgs, then automatically it goes up to 4200 ml per day. This is how you need to calculate. Now, if you are having dehydration also, there is a problem. When you're having overhydration also, you will have a problem. Now, it's a balance. So ultimately, it is a balance which is very, very important. But on one side, most of us, 80% of the population, if you look at, definitely they all are under dehydration. I'm talking cellular dehydration. Because many times we don't even notice that our cell is lacking water because we are so much engrossed in our day-to-day life that we don't bother about the hydration part. Only when you do a live cell analysis, then when you see yourself on the screen that your hydration is not sufficient, that is when you understand. So you need to take care when it terms of dehydration. The overhydration is only a few percentage, so that is not a big deal at all. And of course, you are looking at the water which is available right now in the market is your tap water, spring water, well water, oasis water, ionized water, river water, distilled water, reverse osmosis water, structured water. Now, this is where if you are talking about structured water, we have Schumann's energy water, Mret water. Now, ours is our terahertz water. There is also something called a structured water. Now, along with that, today in the market, there is a lot of people talking about hydrogen water. Now, all this is a water wherein definitely as a human being, we all need to understand that we need to drink water. But when you're talking about technology, because of the technological advances, there are a lot of things which is happening. And then today, I would say terahertz water is good enough. You're just resonating the water, a filtered, clean filtered water, you're going to resonate. It's much more easier for you to do that because the unit is much portable and then you can carry it anywhere. So in that way, terahertz is more available. Means it is within your reach for you to pick it up and then start using the water. So an ideal drinking water, I always repeatedly say your pH should be around 7.5 to 8, and then your TDS between 50 to 200. Your ORP should be minus, minus from 0 to minus 100 to minus 200 is ideally good enough. But if it is plus, definitely it is more of an acidic environment. It is not good for your body. And of course, it should be clean from all the bacteria, viruses, parasites, and the heavy metals. Very, very important. So you just look into it. Even if you're not drinking terahertz water, it's still okay. But if you can get a proper filtered, clean water, at least for you to live on this planet Earth is good enough. But if you have someone who can resonate your water and give you, please look into it. Why not? It is definitely a better option for you. And terahertz wave is something between a microwave and an infrared waves. It is supposed to be a low frequency. And now we are people, there are a lot of applications of this particular terahertz, right from aviation to the mobile industry, to the medical fraternity, to the customs. Now we have something so easy, just like with a 3.5 liters jug, and then we have the resonator down there, and you can use a power bank so for you to resonate the water. So in the river of life, this is part of it which you have picked up in your life, and then you're using it. Means you're a blessed soul that you're able to do this. And then of course, when you're looking at the certification, the company has all the required certification. Now very important is if you're looking at the properties of the water, like it is an antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant. Now, let me tell you, if probably you are having an infection and you're going to consume this terahertz water, what is the benefit you will face is if you're going to drink a normal water, the recovery probably might take a little longer. But when you're drinking terahertz water, which has got all the properties of antibacterial, definitely it can go and kill the organisms, and it can be a sterile water. On the other side, if you can do boil the terrace water and inhale the steam, especially every day night time, when you especially you go outside and come back home, please make sure that if you can do steam inhalation before going to bed. This is a wonderful way of keeping your nose and your air passages more clean from any organism, because when you go out, we do not know if anything, any organisms or virus is inside your nose. So the only way is when you do a steam inhalation, you can avoid at least the organism going inside, because the moment you do steam inhalation, it will be killed and then it will be cleared away by your own body system. Now, the anti-radiation effect is there, the low viscosity is there, the angulation of the water is much more better. It's between 106 to 109. So automatically the hardness of the water is, that's why when you taste the terrace water, it's very, very supple, and then it's nice for you to drink actually. It's like drinking a sweet water. And of course, the absorption of minerals. Now you drink water, and then if you're eating some vegetables and fruits which contains the minerals, what will happen is it will get absorbed much more easily. And this terrace water absorption is much faster. So it is 3 times much faster than your normal water. So in that way, it will definitely enhance your basal metabolic. That means your metabolic function will be better. Now, because of the linear arrangement, that means it's all stand in one line. The hydration for you is much better. And of course, it supports your telomere in your DNA. We are talking about the DNA. But these are all, let me tell you, you need to drink the water continuously for a very long time. At least for a 6 months to 1 to 2 years when you drink, there will be some good benefits. And definitely it changes your energy fields, because I have done a lot of research on energy fields. And just spraying the water around a particular person also, it will enhance the energy fields. And with phones every day in and out, there are a lot of problems we are facing. But at least when you are going to consume this water, definitely it will help you to prevent the radiation effect of it. And this is the picture where you can see the linear arrangement of our terahertz water. The device emits 0.96 terahertz. Actually, it is between 0.6 to 1.4 is the terahertz radiation. But average, when you take every time the resonator, when it emits down, and they collectively collect a few times, and then when they check, it is around 0.96 is the terahertz which is emitted from your device. And the molecular width of the water is almost 2 nanometers, very, very small. And the frequency is 7.6. The Earth frequency, especially you are talking about the ozone layer, is the Schumann's energy is 7.83 and ours is 7.6, is fantastic. So the benefits: easy absorption, better removal of toxic waste, and then better hydration, better absorption of nutrients. So automatically you will get the benefit of having good healthy cells. The function of your cells are much better. Diseases, now this is something you need to read in between the lines. A better control of disease. I'm not talking about curing of any disease. Very, very important, because most of the time people will be correlating with the disease and asking me, doctor, I'm drinking terrace water. How does it help? It will definitely help. But if you're talking about a specific disease, your body is the best doctor for you. Please understand, your body is the best doctor. It knows what to do. Your job is to drink the water and forget it. It will do other job. But most of us, what we are doing, just because we have a disease, what we try to do is we drink the water and we expect the disease to be cleared. Of course, there in the market, you would have heard people after drinking terrace water, diabetes under control, blood pressure has come down, heart disease is much better, their psoriasis is much better, skin disease is all this. Yes, it is there. But for you specifically, how is it going to work? We do not know, because in your body, how it is going to function is how you are accepting the water. For example, if you're going to accept the terrace water as a blessing, you're going to accept the water as a beautiful divine guidance that you got the water to drink. So what you need to do is say thank you to the divine person or who recommended you. And then when you say thank you so much to the water, and you send a lot of love vibration to the water, and when you drink it, the water automatically goes inside and will do whatever job it is supposed to do. But if by chance you have a doubt, hey, this terrace water, whether it's really working or not, I also don't know. I'm drinking, but there is no. See, already you have a doubt on the water. So automatically, when there is a doubt, you will definitely have a lot of blocks in your own system. So what you need to understand is, we as human beings, when there is a particular situation which comes to you on this particular day, you are a blessed soul, you are receiving it. Not everybody, like for example, today, how many people are here? Around 40, 140 people. I think we all are blessed people here on this planet Earth, that we are gathered here and we are able to listen to this sharing from me. And then, of course, there are a lot of information you would have picked up from this particular sharing. Now use it in your day-to-day life and then start moving forward. Now, such of those who are all new, what is the advantage of terrace water? It can be boiled, it can be put under pressure, but it should be kept in a glass container, and it can be kept for a little longer time also. Even if you're going to keep in a can, you need to look at a food grade cans for you to store. If at all, if you're going to store it for a little longer period, please look for a food grade plastics. Very, very important. And of course, we have got the, from Singapore, we already have the certification for the water down there. And then, of course, if you can keep the water in a glass or a mud pot or a ceramic or a food grade container, it's the best. But what you need to avoid is, you cannot keep the in metal containers. You cannot do that. Then definitely you cannot expose this water, especially in a low grade 5-liter cans, and then leave it in the sun. Definitely that is going to cause more problem, because recycled plastics by itself will cause problem to the water. The water by itself is not a problem, but the plastic. So you need to be a little careful. And why not prepare it fresh and then drink it every day? If you can prepare it and drink it, is the best. And if you can resonate the water in the jug given by the company, would be the ideal one, the best. Because if you're going to use directly on a 5-liter can, definitely you need to resonate it at least minimum 2 times, because the resonator has to penetrate into the water and the molecule has to go down and then start what do you say, converting the other normal water molecule into a terrace resonated water molecule. And other than that, we have the live cell analysis, which is the best actually for you. I think by now most of you would be knowing that. So what is the message I would like to give you is, we all need to go with the flow, and just like a river, let's all walk. And today on the March 13th down here, and we all are gathered here, March 2022, and we know that there is something called terrace water is available, and with a lot of information and a lot of goodness in the water. Our job is to pick it up, and you drink the water. You utilize this opportunity of this particular terrace water in terms of using it for cooking, and terrace machine, you can resonate your oil. Like that, there are multiple benefits. So look into it and then go with the flow. And until we all are supposed to live, let's live a very beautiful, peaceful, healthy lifestyle. And in that way, terrace is a wonderful instrument, and the water by itself is an additional tool for our healthy lifestyle. So with this, I wish to end my sharing here, and thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity you all are giving me every now and then and every Sunday. And this is my 59th episode. Thank you very much once again to every one of you. It's your enthusiasm which makes me to come down here every Sunday to give you my sharing. So thank you very much. And then let's see if there are any questions I need to answer. Over to
Yes,
you.
there is. Thank you, Dr. Prabhu, for your informative messages. Yes, there's a few questions, Dr. Prabhu. The first one by Ramesh. Dr. Prabhu, can you please share more information about the breathing exercise that we can purchase from the pharmacy?
Okay.
What?
I will just 1 minute. I will show the instrument so that they will be able to. Okay. Now this is the instrument, which is this is the instrument. This is normally, this particular instrument you can buy from IJN. It's only sold in IJN. But if at all you can get a smaller version of this, you will get it from any pharmacies. and it varies from $35 to 45 ringgits, and a good quality one, go for it. And then what you need to do is you have to, of course, use this particular thing, keep your mouth on this, and then start sucking the air. Now this you need to do for 5 seconds. Then once you suck in the air, keep it in your mouth, and then hold the breath for 5 seconds, and then use the same pipe to blow the air out. Now this is where for the 10 seconds you need to blow the air out. So you need to have a clock in front of you with the seconds. So this is the most easiest and the best actually, because the moment you do this, I guarantee you within 3 months, your lung capacity will be much better. Definitely your memory will be much better because your oxygen is available more for your body. And one more good news is your cancer cells will run away. The more oxygen, no cancer cells. So this is beauty of doing this particular breathing. See, I am using it for almost 2-3 years now. I am regularly using it, even though I still can close my eyes and then take in a breath for 5 seconds and then hold the breath. I still can do that. But when I use this particular instrument, what happens is my mind doesn't vary, it doesn't go wavery. It's focused on the breathing, and then I can do it for 15 minutes continuously.
Okay, good. Thank you for your sharing, Dr. Prabhu. Ramesh, I hope Dr. Prabhu have answered your questions. For Rina, she is asking, may I know, Dr. Prabhu, what supplement to take for the initial stage of fatty liver?
Okay, there is something called Niruri. If you can write the spelling Niruri, Niruri, Niruri. Niruri is a plant which can grow very rapidly. You can see on the streets it's growing. This particular plant is available everywhere. But if they are looking forward for this particular Niruri powder, it is available where maybe they can call me, because there is one particular Chinese person who is preparing the Niruri powder and he is selling it. Is around 120 ringgits for one big bottle. You can use it for almost 2 to 3 months. That's one option. But the second option is, if you can see the plant, you just type the word Niruri in Google search. You can see the what plant is it, and then you can grow the plant in your own home. And then you can, once it grows, you can just pluck the leaves, clean it up well, and then boil the water and drink it up. This is the first step in giving the nutrient to your liver. This is the first one. Niruri is a natural ingredient and it is available. Number one. Number two, your liver needs milk thistle, which is very easily available in the pharmacy. Milk thistle. So it is also a very economical, cheaper one available in pharmacies. Then the third one is a dandelion. That also is a natural product available. You can buy it from pharmacy. Now what they have done is they are mixing milk thistle with dandelion. It's available. So just pick it up, and then probably if you can take it for 1 or 2 months, it definitely helps you to boost your liver. Other than that, if you can take a little bit of B complex, that will be very good, because B complex is very, very important for your liver function and detoxification.
Okay, thank you, Rina. Hope the question has been answered. The next one is from Gan. Please advise, how would the terrace water helps in Parkinson disease and autoimmune disease?
Okay, now if you're talking about a disease, definitely, as I told you very clearly, that your body is the best doctor, number one. But if you're looking at just by drinking the water, your Parkinson probably will be able to relieve. Definitely, I don't think so that your Parkinson will be able to cure it up. But what is happening is Parkinson is a disease of your brain on one side. But when you look at your whole body, your heart, your liver, your spleen, your kidneys, your intestine, they all need water. So when you are going to drink water, especially the terrace water, it will help all your organs and all your cells. But in the meantime, if your other organs are becoming more healthier, your body definitely can help your Parkinson to an extent reduce the effect of the disease. Maybe the stiffness can be slightly better. Maybe his memory can be slightly better. But this, if they really want a little more information, please call me. Then there are other methods I can assist you, how you can help yourself.
Okay, the next question is, Doctor, please share how Trivalin, but what is a stone? I don't know what he meant.
What is that?
Please share Trivalin. That is a stone, right? Trivalin. So he has another question, which is, Doctor, please share how terahertz water helps our eyesight, and can it help in cataract?
See, what's happening is, if you are going to take 100 people having cataract, okay, and you're going to spray terahertz water around the eyes and then drink the water. Now, how many people will be benefited by the prevention of cataract? We do not know. But here in the terahertz group, we do have few beautiful souls who have improved, and they have not gone for a surgery. Yes, there is. But if you look at the overall, the number of people affected by cataract, and then if they are consuming, we really do not know. I don't have any clinical study, but as I told you, if you're looking at cataract alone, how about the other organs of your body? You better drink for the benefit of your whole body rather than just, but by chance, if you're going to get the benefit, please accept it and then move forward.
Yes. The next question is, what's the difference between terahertz water and MRET?
It's only the way it is being resonated. Mret is they are using magnetic resonance. Terahertz is terahertz resonator. And if you look at the benefits of it, this one can be done in within 3 minutes. That's the main advantage for us. Whereas a Mret takes 30 minutes. But now I think there are a lot of Mret coming in much more faster, but we can't be going on comparing, If we start comparing, of course, there are thousands of products coming there. And I don't think we need to go into a competitive comparison.
Yes. I think, yes, there's one question to ask to explain what does the machine do to the water, as what Dr. Prabhu has explained just now. After the resignation. Yeah.
No, simple. Let me explain you more simple. Just let me like there's a glass of water. Okay. Now, the moment I say I love you to the water, I love you, I love you, I love you. When I use those words, there is a vibration being created when I say the word I love you. Now, this vibration definitely goes and hits the water. And then the water takes up that particular vibration, and there is a frequency which is created in the water. And in Japan, what they have done is they have crystallized the water, and when they see for the word love, it's a beautiful hexagon shape. It takes up. So what is happening is terahertz is another way of doing it through a machine. Terahertz wave is a machine. We use that particular wave to be created by a machine, and then it resonates. So ultimately what happens is the water gets resonated, and then there are a lot of good properties by resonating the water with terahertz. That's an advantage. Whereas when you just say I love you to the water, I don't think we'll have an antibacterial effect, antiviral effect. I don't think so we'll have. And the molecular structure may not become smaller. Whereas a resonator like our terahertz definitely has a main benefit. It's like, for example, even if you're going to send one light rays, you cannot take an X-ray, right? You cannot see the bones. So for that, you need an X-ray machine wherein it has to penetrate through and then expose it. So like that, terahertz is a resonator. That's it.
Okay. Dr. Prabhu, just now you also did mention about diabetics drinking our water. So there's a question here to advise how terahertz water helps in diabetic. How much water to take daily to help them in the reduction?
Just now I told what this is something I can't be repeating. I just told what your weight into multiply into 42K number. That's it. It is standard WHO requirement.
Yes.
Into
Okay, I think that's all for tonight. Thank you very much. I know Doctor always have been same questions over and over again.
Sorry, I have one important question can ask.
Yes.
not a 100% vegetarian, but just regularly eat vegetarian food lah. So if this water helps, and then also if the food derived from the vegetarian food, how to get more B complex? Is vegetarian food less B complex? Beside taking other supplement, can doctor advise us?
Okay, coming back to your vegetarian thing, very simple is you would have heard of something called spirulina, right? Spirulina. So if you can consume spirulina, it contains a lot of B complex, good enough for your body to be taken inside. So in that way, if you look at spirulina is the cheapest available B complex, consume that. Next, moringa leaves, moringa. That also contains a good amount of B complex and calcium and iron. So look into it. It's not that vitamin B complex is only available in the non-vegetarian. Of course, when you look at the vegetarians, they do have a problem in terms of lack of vitamins, especially B complex. But B complex is something which will be there in the body only for 6 days, whether you like it or not. It is water soluble. So the more B complex you take, the more beneficial for you. Take in a lot of green leaves, then spirulina tablets we can consume, then chlorophyll. All these when you can consume, I think it's good amount. And then do check your B complex levels in the blood, and then from there, accordingly, you see if you want to go in for an injectable B complex weekly once, good enough. You can take 6 injections into 6 weeks, fantastic. But other than that, check it up and then you start working on it.
Okay, thank you, doctor. Thanks for your advice.
Thank you,
so much.
thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Linda.
you, Dr. Prabhu. Thank
Thank you,
you
thank
for
you.
the wonderful evening. See you next week.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for attending the Zoom tonight. We'll see you again next week. Thank you, and a very good night to everyone.